So the Ducks lost last night 2-1 against Dallas. Not ideal either way to have two teams so close to us in the standings play each other, but since it had to happen, that was actually the ideal scenario, and it didn't go to overtime, so that was good. The Sharks lost today 2-0 against Ottawa, and the Avalanche won today 5-2 against Arizona. So given those things and the way the Kings were in the standings going into today's game, one of two things could have happened. One, we win 2 points, we leapfrog over two teams and end up second in the West. Well, not the West, sorry, in the Pacific. Or we end up out of a playoff spot. Guess which one happened? Yeah. Not the one we wanted at all. Like, it wasn't even convincing. In fact, statistically, it was the worst loss of the season. Yay! That's really what you want to see from, a team that's supposedly back to full strength. Lewis is back. Carter is back. Everyone is in the lineup who should be in the lineup. And we have our worst loss of the season. So I believe it was the 14th of February, we lost to Carolina 7-3. We lost 5-0 against Nashville on the 1st of February. So 7-2? Yeah, it was up there. In fact, it was the worst. We were 7-1 until 14 seconds remaining, which would have easily made it the worst. But this one, comparable as in we lost by 5 goals and gave up 7. So nothing about that is good. There were no good things that happened in this game. We started out with a power play. Less than a minute in, we get the man advantage, and less than a minute into that, Dustin Brown takes a penalty, so we're 4-4. And that kind of tells you all you really need to know about the game, because for the first 6 minutes, we played less than 30 seconds, I believe, of 5-on-5 hockey. Quickly after that happened, we were 4-on-4. Then we got a power play again, but then there was in the 4-on-4, that's when we gave up our first goal. Because, we're the LA Kings, and we give up the first goal 65% of the time. Okay. Yeah, because this couldn't get more depressing. So we gave up the first goal with 7 seconds left of the 4-on-4. If the goal had have been 8 seconds later, we could have just given up the penalty and sucked it up and moved on. But no, we had to play about a minute or so of a penalty kill after giving up that goal. Awesome! Great timing. Yeah, okay. Hate this game. Oh, it's gonna get worse. So after a bunch of stuff like that happened, we got a power play immediately after and of course did nothing with it. So yeah, lots of uneven strength special teams going on. Give up the first goal, give up the second goal. Things are not looking good at all. And we're kind of lucky to make it out of the first period, only down 2-0. The first period. Going into the second period, things looked okay, I guess. Being an afternoon game, all things considered, the Kings don't usually wake up to a good deal into it. And so you're like, okay, well, maybe it's just taking a little bit longer to get their stride. And they do actually get 1 goal in that period, and it's 2-1. It's a great goal. Credit Drew Doughty, who at the end of the first period got hit into the net and was favoring his left foot and kept shaking out his right foot. I mean, he's Drew Doughty and he would skate with a broken leg, so that really means nothing that he still played the last 30 seconds of the first period, because you would have to lift him off the ice. He would have to be unconscious to leave the ice. But he came out in the second and he's looking fine, and he gets this goal. Great goal. Passes to Kopi, finds some front net presence, and just absolutely stunningly redirects this one in. So great pass from Kopi, too. Beautiful stuff from the leaders of the team. Things are looking good. 2-1. we're starting our comeback. This is the Kings that we're used to. Going down, getting us out, and just thinking, oh my gosh, why did they do this? And then making spectacular comebacks. Yeah, that didn't happen. Instead, while Kopitar was down one end getting a beautiful look at goal, the puck ends up coming out of the zone and all the way back down to the Kings zone. But we're in control of it, and so you're thinking, great, that was a great push, a great rush, absolutely stunning pressure. We can do this. We're going to get back up and do the second rush and maybe tie it up. Instead, Jake Muzzin loses the puck, and we give up our third goal. Give up our third goal, first of this second period. So 3-1, not looking quite as convincing as we were. The comeback that looked possible was slipping a little bit closer out of our reach, and at this point you just kind of want to hemorrhage the bleeding there and think, okay, maybe we'll make it out of the second. Down 3-1 is still a doable feat. Oh, wait, with less than 30 seconds or about 34 seconds or whatever to go, we give up a fourth goal. So it's 4-1. 4-1 going in the third, and you think it couldn't get sadder than that? Yeah, it really did. Quick was pulled, which I'm only surprised at because the Kings never pull Quick, even when he clearly should be pulled. So it was a little refreshing to see Campbell in for the third. Quick was not his most stellar, and I'm not going to blame some of those goals on him. There was one, maybe two of the four that were really on him. The third goal was on Muzzin. The fourth goal, this guy has a breakaway, and there are 3 Kings that are following on, and not a single one of them can dislodge him from either his trajectory or from the puck. 3! So that was not the way we wanted to end the second. But we've got Campbell in net for the third. Things are a little bit shaken up. We think, okay, this is going to be tough, but we can do it. Within about 30 seconds, Campbell has given up goal number 5. And within 58 seconds, he's given up goal number 6. So within a minute of the third period beginning, we knew it wasn't going to happen. And yet we had to sit there for 19 more minutes. Like the first 41 weren't sad enough. Gave up one more goal in the third. Ended 7-2 because, like I said, we got a penalty for 2 minutes with 3:41 remaining, and then we got a power play with 40 seconds remaining. Because, yay, a power play! That's going to help us get back 6 goals to tie the game in 40 seconds. It got us 1 because Dustin Brown, Jeff Carter, and Anze Kopitar never give up, ever. And I liked seeing that from them, but it was about the only thing I liked seeing in today's game. We could be in second place right now. We could be sitting pretty. Well, not pretty, but with much less pressure. Instead, we are 9th, and we have not enough games. I mean, yeah, we can still make the playoffs, but I've lost count of the amount of games that, the Kings are going to look back at this game, and that's going to be the one that they're going to wish they could get the 2 points back. There's too many of them. There's this one, which was just a train wreck. There was Chicago, where we had 3 unanswered goals in the second and then gave up 3 unanswered goals in the third to lose with 90 seconds left on the clock. There's the game against Edmonton, where we had the disallowed goal with the last 17 seconds. But we shouldn't have even gotten that far. We shouldn't have needed a goal with 19 seconds to go. There are just far too many games where you look back and think, oh, we should have won that. Well, at least the Kings are taking a lesson from that game, and they've learned their lesson, and they'll come back strong. We don't have enough time for that anymore. We just don't. We are less than a month away from the end of the season. They have 8, I believe, home games left. But I'm starting to wish we had 8 away games left because the Kings seem to pull out all the stops when they're away. And they don't seem to do it when they're at home for their home crowd. And I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. How does the team that went back-to-back against Vegas in 2 different states and win both those games against Vegas, who is weirdly good, how do you come back and then lose like this? We weren't ever in it. We weren't ever really in it for maybe 5 minutes when it was 2-1. Oh God, it wasn't even 5 minutes. We were in this game for maybe 2. And then nothing. I believe it was John Stevens who said something about we couldn't even check a hat tonight. Yeah. So this was more than just disappointing. This was a loss that shouldn't have happened again. And I just don't know how many more of those the Kings are going to get before those playoff hopes dwindle and die. Wow, I really wish I could end on a better note. Let's end with some South Park, because Cartman.
Go Kings, go!